Celebrities are known for going the extra mile to look their best. It's part of their brand, but sometimes they cross the line chasing unrealistic beauty standards and undergoing extreme cosmetic procedures. Instead of enhancing their looks, these surgeries often leave them completely unrecognizable. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into some of the most shocking celebrity plastic surgery disasters. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. Too many cosmetic procedures can destroy even the most naturally stunning faces. A great example is Mexican actress Lin May. In the 1970s, Lin was one of the biggest stars in Mexican television, appearing in films, working as a model, and captivating audiences with her beauty. But as her fame began to fade, Lin re-entered the spotlight, not for her talent, but for her dramatic physical transformation caused by excessive plastic surgery. Her goal, she says, was to become a human doll. Unfortunately, the results were anything but doll-like. Now 71 years old, Lin's appearance doesn't reflect her age, but it's far from natural. According to Lin, this drastic change happened because she was misled during one of her procedures. Instead of receiving collagen injections, she claimed she was injected with industrial oil. These botched surgeries have left her struggling to repair the damage and reclaim a more natural look. Russian model Yulia Tarasevich was celebrated for her beauty, winning numerous pageants across Russia and Europe. In 2020, fresh off her victory as Miss Russia International, Yulia decided to tweak her appearance with a facelift and eyelid correction. She had no idea these minor improvements would turn into a nightmare. The second procedure went horribly wrong. Yulia lost the ability to fully close her eyes and became almost unrecognizable. The surgery caused severe facial scarring, and half of her facial muscles stopped functioning. She couldn't blink, and her signature radiant smile disappeared. To make matters worse, her face took on a hollow, skeletal appearance. As of 2022, she had to give up her modeling career entirely because of these complications. This serves as a haunting reminder that even small cosmetic tweaks can have devastating consequences. Meet Georgina Clark and her daughter Kayla Morris, a mother-daughter duo who described themselves as best friends. Their close bond led them to spend cosmetic procedures, all in an attempt to look like British model Katie Price. While trying to mimic a celebrity's appearance might seem like a dream, it often turns into a cautionary tale. Around a decade ago, Georgina became obsessed with Katie Price and convinced her daughter Kayla to join her in this pursuit. Kayla had her first surgery at just 17 years old. Together, they've undergone lip fillers, Botox, breast and butt implants, cheek augmentations, and regular artificial tanning sessions. They also splurge on expensive makeup and weekly salon visits to maintain their look. Despite all this effort and money, the internet has been less than kind, pointing out that their transformations didn't achieve the desired resemblance. Here's Katie Price, and here's how Georgina and Kayla look now. What do you think? Did they nail it? And if that wasn't wild enough, Georgina has announced her next planned surgery, vaginal rejuvenation. What? What the? One can't help but wonder, where will this all end? If trying to look like a celebrity sounds extreme, imagine wanting to resemble an inflatable doll. Yes, you heard that right. That's exactly the life goal of French model Victoria Wilde. By the age of 30, she had spent over 30,000 euros on cosmetic procedures. Victoria has undergone a nose job, lip implants, Botox, and fillers, all funded by her modeling gigs and her supportive boyfriend. Her ultimate goal, to look like an adult entertainment doll. She proudly claims she loves her look, saying that people can't help but stare when she's out in public. While that's probably true, one has to ask, are they staring out of admiration or sheer disbelief? Monique Allen's journey with plastic surgery began at age 22 when she had her gender transition surgery. However, it didn't stop there. The American quickly developed an obsession with altering her appearance. To date, she has undergone over 200 surgeries. Unfortunately, not all of them went as planned, leaving her disfigured. And when surgeries go wrong, her solution is more surgeries. Monique even starred in a reality show focused on extreme plastic surgery stories. Over the years, she's had liposuction, injected a staggering 12 liters of silicone into her body, and dramatically altered the texture of her skin. Now, 68 years old, despite her many attempts to fix past mistakes, her appearance remains far from natural. Her story highlights the dangers of addiction to plastic surgery and the devastating toll it can take on one's body and mind. Lil' Kim was one of the most iconic rappers of the 1990s and early 2000s. Although she's still active in music and maintains her relevance, much of the public attention has shifted away from her work to her dramatically altered appearance. Her noticeable facial changes began around 2010, with lip and cheek enhancements that left her face looking disproportionate. During that time, rumors swirled that she had undergone skin lightening treatments and multiple nose jobs. The most striking change, however, is the overall shape of her face, which has become oval and unnaturally proportioned. At 50 years old, Lil' Kim is considered one of the most unrecognizable figures in music when compared to her early career. Carrot Top, whose real name is Scott Thompson, rose to fame as a stand-up comedian known for his energetic performances and bright orange hair. Over the years, he also dabbled in television and film, but his physical transformation became the real head-turner. While Carrot Top insists he hasn't undergone any plastic surgery, his dramatically tightened skin, arched eyebrows, and youthful appearance suggest otherwise. In addition to his alleged facial procedures, Thompson spent significant time in the gym, transforming his physique into a muscular build that sparked even more rumors. Despite his claims of staying natural, fans speculate that steroids might have played a role. Today, at 59 years old, the comedian's altered appearance is hard to miss, and many fans don't even recognize him on the street anymore. Farrah Abraham first became known through the reality show Teen Mom, but she made headlines in 2015 for a plastic surgery mishap that left her with shocking results. At just 23 years old, Farrah suffered a severe allergic reaction during a lip filler procedure, resulting in extreme swelling. The outcome was far from what she had envisioned. Farrah had already undergone several procedures, including a chin implant, collagen injections, and breast implants, which she later had removed. Up until the lip incident, she hadn't experienced any major complications. Luckily, the lip issue was resolved, but Farrah didn't stop there. She continued modifying her lips and cheeks, and fans speculate she's had even more work done. Now 33 years old, many people claim she looks closer to 50 due to the toll that excessive cosmetic treatments have taken on her skin structure. In 2020, British woman Keira Bell made headlines after suing the UK healthcare system and winning. Her case brought attention to the controversial issue of gender transition procedures for minors. Keira transitioned to a male identity at just 16 years old, undergoing hormonal treatments and other procedures after only 3 medical consultations. However, by her early 20s, she realized that transitioning had been the wrong choice for her. At 23 years old, Keira filed a lawsuit against the clinic that facilitated her transition, arguing that minors lack the capacity to consent to such life-altering decisions. The court sided with her, stating that medical professionals should have waited until she was an adult to proceed with the treatments. While less than 1% of individuals regret transitioning, Keira's case became a landmark, raising questions about how and when these procedures should be allowed. She received financial compensation, but the exact amount remains undisclosed. Shauna Sand, a former Playboy model, faced a devastating plastic surgery disaster after receiving breast implants. The procedure left her with severe deformities, including misshapen breasts and nipples. After her surgeon passed away before completing the necessary corrections, Shauna was left in a difficult situation. She eventually agreed to appear on a reality show specializing in botched plastic surgeries in hopes of repairing the damage. However, her plans were interrupted when she discovered she was pregnant, forcing her to live with visible scars, described as rope-like by Shauna, for several years before she could attempt another surgery. Thankfully, Shauna found 2 skilled Hollywood surgeons who promised to fix the earlier mistakes. While the results reportedly turned out well, we're keeping it safe and not showing them here. But if you're curious, they're easy to find online. The story is straight up horrifying. terrifying. April Michelle Brown became known after her tragic plastic surgery story went viral in the US. She wanted to enhance her curves and decided to go for butt implants. But here's the kicker, she didn't go to a professional. Instead, she had the procedure done by someone using non-medical silicone, basically stuff you'd find at a hardware store. The material caused a severe infection that led to necrosis, tissue death. Her health deteriorated rapidly and doctors had no choice but to take drastic action. To save her life, surgeons had to amputate her hands, feet, and part of her buttocks. April endured 27 surgeries to survive. After her recovery, she began speaking publicly about the dangers of cheap, unprofessional cosmetic procedures. Her story is a stark warning. Cutting corners with plastic surgery can cost you everything. Stefane Matos, a popular Brazilian influencer, had a natural and beautiful nose. But in 2020, she decided to get a rhinoplasty to meet the impossible beauty standards set by social media and the entertainment industry. But instead of enhancing her looks, the procedure backfired big time. Unsatisfied with the first result, Stefane went for a second surgery, but that only made things worse. Her nose ended up visibly misshapen, making her even more self-conscious. Still determined to fix it, she went in for a third surgery, and that's when everything fell apart. With little cartilage left to support another operation, her nose collapsed, creating a serious medical emergency. Surgeons had to act fast to save her. What started as a simple cosmetic adjustment turned into a living nightmare. After surviving the ordeal, Stefane realized how toxic the pressure to conform to unrealistic beauty standards can be. Now, she openly discusses her journey, warning others about the dangers of overdoing cosmetic procedures. Her story is a powerful reminder. You don't need to change yourself to be accepted. Loving yourself as you are is the real glow up. Simon Cowell, the brutal TV talent show judge with the sharp tongue, tried to smooth out the wrinkles, but things didn't exactly go according to plan. Despite denying that he's had any major work done, experts say Simon's face tells a different story. He's believed to have had Botox and a facelift to reduce wrinkles and sagging skin, but the results made him look kinda off. Instead of looking refreshed and younger, Simon's face became oddly stiff and plastic-like. His cheeks look unnaturally puffy, and his smile has that frozen look that's a dead giveaway of too much work. Fans started questioning his health, wondering if something was seriously wrong with him. Simon, however, claims that his new look is just the result of a healthier diet. Sure, Simon. Drop that diet plan so we know what not to do. Burt Reynolds was a Hollywood icon in the 70s and 80s, a true sex symbol. But as the years passed and his youthful look started to fade, Burt decided to fight back with plastic surgery. He reportedly had eyelid surgery, facelifts, and Botox injections, but the results weren't exactly flattering. At one public event, people were shocked at how different he looked. His face appeared overly stretched, his eyebrows were unnaturally high, and his skin looked waxy and artificial. Journalists joked that his face was so tight that smiling probably hurt. Imagine feeling like your face is held together by rubber bands. And yet, Burt always denied having any work done. Who was he trying to fool? Not us. Lisa Rinna, the actress and model who gained fame in the 90s, was once considered one of Hollywood's natural beauties. But as time passed, Lisa decided to fight aging with a lot of cosmetic help. She went hard on lip fillers, cheek implants, and Botox. At first, it seemed like it was working, but then she pushed things too far. Today, Lisa looks practically unrecognizable from her prime. Her cheeks are unnaturally high and puffy, her lips are enormous, and her skin is stretched so tightly it barely moves when she talks. Fans who remember her in her heyday were shocked. It wasn't aging that changed her face, it was the extreme work she had done. Lisa's story is a reminder that less is more when it comes to plastic surgery. Sometimes trying to stop the clock just makes things worse. Patricia Ramos, a popular influencer and TV host, went through a total nightmare in 2024, all because of a plastic surgery surgery that went horribly wrong. What was supposed to be a routine touch-up turned into a life-threatening emergency. Patricia never shared exactly what procedure she had done, but she mentioned that she had done the same surgery before without any issues. This time though, things went downhill fast. After the surgery, she started experiencing more than just the usual post-op discomfort. She began having seizures and sudden blackouts, which sent everyone around her into panic mode. The situation got so bad that she had to be rushed to the hospital, and when she got there, she couldn't feel parts of her body and even thought she was about to die. But here's the most terrifying part. None of the doctors could explain what was happening to her body. The symptoms didn't match any known post-op complications, leaving her with no clear diagnosis. Patricia ended up in the intensive care unit, ICU, where she stayed until her condition stabilized. Thankfully, she made a full recovery, but the experience left deep emotional scars. Even though she never revealed what caused the complications, Patricia has since warned her followers about the hidden dangers of plastic surgery. Moral of the story: beauty is great, but your health should always come first. Before you tweak the bodywork, make sure the engine's running smoothly. Geek, the Brazilian influencer who's practically the poster child for extreme makeovers. KK rose to fame not just because of her content, but also because of her extensive list of cosmetic procedures. We're talking lipo LED, Botox, facial fillers, lip fillers, jawline work, nose job. At first, the changes were subtle, but over time, Kay's face started looking different, like really different. Fans were quick to point out that she didn't even look like herself anymore, and some even said she started looking a bit robotic. Recently though, Kay admitted that she might have gone too far. She even hinted that she's considering reversing some of the work. Honestly, that's probably a smart move. There's a fine line between enhancing your look and becoming a whole new person, and GK seems to have realized that before it was too late. Jessica Froze's story is a cautionary tale about bichectomies. You know, that procedure where they remove fat from your cheeks to create a more sculpted look. In 2021, Jessica decided to try it, but the results were not what she expected. Instead of achieving that snatched model look, Jessica said she ended up looking like a skeleton, and it didn't stop there. About a year after the procedure, her face started sagging because removing that fat actually accelerated the aging process. So instead of looking younger, Jessica ended up looking older. Talk about backfiring. Jessica's experience is a reminder that sometimes less is more. A little bit of natural fullness can go a long way, and trying to chase that chiseled look can actually make you look worse. Michaela Romanini was once considered one of the most beautiful socialites in Italy, but that was before she discovered the magic, or curse, of plastic surgery. Michaela started with small procedures, lip fillers, Botox, that kind of thing, but she quickly became addicted to tweaking her look. Over time, her face became almost unrecognizable. Her lips were massively overfilled, her cheeks were unnaturally puffy, and her skin looked stretched tight. Specialists say that starting cosmetic procedures at a young age can have a snowball effect. The more you tweak, the more you'll need to fix down the line. Now, Michaela is a cautionary tale about what happens when you overdo it. And the scary part, once the damage is done, it's hard to reverse it. You knew this one was coming. Michael Jackson's transformation over the years is one of the most dramatic examples of plastic surgery in music history. Though Michael always claimed that his skin lightening was due to vitiligo, the structural changes to his face were hard to ignore. Thinner nose, more defined jawline, higher cheekbones, raised eyebrows, smaller lips. It's believed that Michael had at least 5 nose jobs among other procedures. Over time, his face became almost mask-like, and by the end of his life, his features were so altered that he barely resembled his younger self. Even now, Michael's transformation remains a subject of fascination and debate. Some see it as a tragic example of body dysmorphia, while others see it as a man trying to escape his painful past. Either way, Michael's story is a reminder that even the king of pop wasn't immune to the pressures of perfection. Joan Rivers was a comedy legend, but her obsession with plastic surgery became almost as famous as her jokes. Joan openly admitted to getting regular work done: facelifts, Botox, eye lifts, you name it. At first, it seemed like it was working, but over time, Joan's face took on a strange feline quality. Her eyes were pulled too tight, right, her lips were overly plumped and her skin was unnaturally smooth. But unlike most celebrities, Joan owned it. She even joked about her surgeries, once saying, "I've had so much plastic surgery, when I die, they'll donate my body to Tupperware." Joan's story proves that while plastic surgery can become addictive, a sense of humor might just be the best anti-aging secret of all. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.